What's up guys, Paramoto here. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. We got a couple things going on today. We have a shooting schedule to do. I have a couple videos that I need to finish up. While we're waiting for the weather to warm up, it's supposed to actually be about 60, 65 degrees today in like January, which is awesome. There's a couple things I want to do. I want to clean up this mess to give this bike a bettered home, and I also want to add a part. I'm already modding the bike, and I want to show you what I want to do first. So, very first part, very first mod is going to be, if I can get it out of here. So this is a radiator guard. I know, it's not super exciting. It's not like a speed mod or anything like that. But I'll tell you why I want to do this first. The last liquid cooled bike I had was the Panigale. And one of the very first rides I did with the Panigale, the dude organizing the group ride took us down a damn near gravel road. The Panigale, the radiator was like right here. And this little, tire hugger guard here would just shoot rocks and stuff right into here. So if you were on like normal paved roads, and you gotta think it was a race bike, so it was meant to be on the track where there wasn't going to be pretty much any rocks or debris at all. And for the rest of the time I owned the bike, which was like 5 years, I had to look at this messed up radiator that had like fins every sort of way from all these rocks hitting it. Everybody was just looking at this guy like, what are you doing? Why are you taking this down this road? But I'm going to try to fix that. I hope this part works. I actually got this idea from Cycle Cruiser, who also has an MT-07, and I bought this straight off his link. So I'm sure we're supporting his channel somewhat, but really this is going to be more or less so, this bike stays nice for longer, and I want to have this bike for a long time, so I hope this thing fits. So guys, I just fit the radiator guard in here. I'm just making sure that this thing fits before I actually put it on. I'll tell you one thing though, Yamaha does not skimp on the red Loctite. Oh my God. Look how much Loctite is on that joker. It finally stopped raining, so I was able to roll the bike out of the garage and show you what I did. So this is a new radiator guard. Down here, just clean black radiator guard. It was super easy. It was just 2 bolts on each side. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass to line it all back up again with the little inserts that had the thread on them. But just moving it around a little bit, pushing this up as I screwed it in, pushing things around. It came with a little bit of foam rubber to put around the edges to stop any sort of rattling noises, but honestly, maybe down there it might need a little bit. I can't imagine it's gonna rattle a lot while I'm riding. It's not gonna be like a V-twin where it's just gonna be like blah, 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 like the whole time. So I mean, maybe on bumps I might hear something like that, but I can't imagine that it would really be that loud. So we'll see. If not, I'll pull the whole thing off, I'll put rubber around it, and I'll re-Loctite these things. Because there was a gob of red Loctite on that shit. I was like undoing it, and I'm like, man, am I breaking something? Like, there was so much red Loctite on it. But it's almost warm enough to start riding, waiting for the roads to dry up a little bit so we don't get this thing too filthy dirty right off the rip. The only other mod that I have coming is a screen protector for this guy. I want to get a screen protector before I get it too dirty. If you know my channel, you know I'm not afraid to ride in the rain. Like, anytime you get a new phone, it's so much easier to get a screen protector on when it's clean rather than when it's got mud or dirt or dust or whatever. So I'll try not to get it too dirty for the time being. I got that coming. I think it should come here in about a week or so. But that's the only other mod that I have super playing for right now. I would love to get rid of these and get some bar end. I want to turn this into like almost like a bruiser style bike. Like, I know it's not quite a street fighter, because street fighters would be like a 1000cc bike, but I want it to look like a street fighter.
Getting ready to start going, and my freaking GoPro battery died already. I don't understand what's going on with these things. I have like 4 GoPro batteries. I charged them all up, and I gotta like ration the last 3 because I have a bunch of videos to make today. It's crazy that these things are lasting like maybe 20 minutes, and then like I had to go find a new part because the part that actually screws everything in and secures it just like disintegrated. I don't know what's going on with all my stuff. I did let somebody borrow this GoPro while the channel was dormant, and I don't know if like maybe it's just overuse. I trust the person that I lent this camera to. Either that or maybe something got on it that like dissolved it. When I unscrewed it, it felt like it almost felt like rubber, like something had loosened the plastic up. But I got a bunch of stuff to do today, and I get to take a motorcycle for the first time in a while, so I'm super excited about that. Let's get this bike warmed up. I got sawdust all over the grips. I was cleaning out this garage like you guys saw it. I got sawdust all over the grips. I can't get over how great that dash looks. Look at that, 28 miles. Yep, 28 miles. I gotta say, I think the side profile of this motorcycle is my favorite. I just think it looks so good from the side. The front is starting to grow on me. I'm kind of liking that dark side of Japan look. Oh, look at my little radiator guard. The back, I'm not the biggest fan of. It almost looks like a, I mean, I hate to say it, but it almost looks like a scooter from the back. But I think the tail title will help that out. I think it's just because it's so low and it's wide to be like an actual comfortable motorcycle that it just looks like that. I got a hoodie on underneath this jacket. It might be too warm for that already. It's almost 60 degrees. As soon as I found out where I put all my Harley stuff, I can put a freaking camera mount back on here. If I have room somewhere, I can probably put it somewhere. But right now I don't have a secondary camera, which honestly makes editing a lot easier. So I have a few videos to make today. This is kind of like a vlog within a vlog. It's a vlogception. I made a video of me collecting the bike and riding home from the dealership and everything. And when I stopped to get lunch with my fiance, I don't think it was a GoPro problem. I think it was a me problem. The cable got unconnected from the GoPro itself. I lost like half the vlog. So we're gonna go reshoot this first ride. It'll be like a 1.5 ride, but you know, it's all good. Don't let anybody know that. I'm gonna do the first ride home from the dealership, and then there's gonna be a vlog with that first ride again, so you guys are gonna kind of get like the same video twice. Most people that watch this channel are not subscribed, so like I don't think everybody's gonna see both videos, but you know, some people will, so that's why. It's got about 4 or 5 minutes of just like me doing commentary in it that the first ride won't have in it, because it's just like a vlog and everything like that. And then we're gonna do this like kind of like more like technical kind of overview of the bike, and then we got this video today, which is gonna be, you know, like a vlog going to vlog. Oh man, that almost got away from me there for a second, man. For a beginner bike, dude, this thing is so good. I don't know if you can really call this thing a beginner bike. I know people do call this a beginner bike, but like, I don't know, everybody that seems to have these things loves them, and they love them for a really long time. Me love you long time. I totally just went for a quick shifter that wasn't there. Well, today is supposed to be in like the mid to high 60s, and I've been looking forward to this ride since I bought this bike. I've literally like only ridden this bike home from the dealership, and I've had it since like last week. And it's been killing me. I've gone out in the garage and like looked at it a few times, just like, oh, I miss you, bike. We've barely known each other, but I miss you already. See how long I can stay on the bike today. I injured my knee last week working out in the cold. It was like 28 degrees one day, and I decided that it was going to be a really good idea to run a lot and then do a lot of burpees where I was bouncing my knee off the ground over and over again, and now my knee hurts, shockingly enough. How comfortable is the 2023 Yamaha MT-07 with a knee injury? We'll find out. With how like peppy this throttle is, I don't know how people put that R6 throttle on this thing and not just like wheelie everywhere. I mean, I can get a full throttle roll on without having to reposition my hand and grab more throttle. I used to have to do that in the WR250. Like, if you wanted to really wring the throttle out, you had to like straight up like pull it and then like hold it somehow like with your fingertips, and then reposition your hand and then rip it more. Man, I'm gonna ride this bike all day long. I'm gonna take this thing to jiu-jitsu tonight, so we're gonna get our first night ride. I'm gonna see how good those headlights are. We'll see how good this gas mileage is. I see it already went down a tick. We're still above a half a tank, so we got plenty. That's third gear. Third gear at almost no revs. It just threw me back in the seat. Man, this thing is crazy good. I can see why people love these bikes so much. This doesn't seem right to me, but when I bought this bike, I'm just like, so is it the full acro system? And he's like, yeah, it is the full acro system. Come to find out, I've seen people take this exhaust off, and like the exhaust is like one piece. Like, you got to do full system. There's really no in between. You can't do slip-ons or anything like that. And I asked him, I'm like, so like, did you guys flash the ECU? Did you do an ECU tune? Like something along those lines. And he's like, no, with this bike, you don't have to flash the ECU. I'm like, I'm not sure if that's correct. It doesn't sound correct. Every bike that I've ever heard of, you pretty much anytime you change anything with the exhaust intake, the best practice is to flash the ECU and to actually tune the ECU for the new backflow or the new open flow or whatever. If you guys want to mention down in the comments if that's actually correct, I would appreciate it. I don't think it's correct. On the long list of things that I would like to do with this motorcycle, a proper flash and maybe a proper dyno
would be like definitely in the works. That stuff is just expensive, man. Like, it was the Vance & Hines something or other, but it was like whatever it was for the stage 1 kit on my Harley, it was like 400 bucks. So it's like you get the pipe and you get the, you know, the intake and all this other stuff, and then it's like, oh yeah, also $400 just to program your bike. It just seems like a lot for me, you know. It definitely seems like too much. But I guess, you know, when you're talking about properly modifying a motorcycle, it makes sense. It makes sense that you would have to do something like that. I'd like to almost see how much a dyno is versus an actual ECU tune. It'd be cool to actually get a custom map for this bike. But if I'm going to get a custom map for this bike, I want to do all the go fast stuff first. There's like a bunch of nanny stuff with this bike, which probably helps the bike last forever. Like, if you just like let this bike bone stock and then just rode it, you'd probably make it like to like 1.5 million miles. There's things like the exhaust is nannied, you know, the intake is way narrowed down. It's very nannied. I've heard the throttle itself has a lock on it, so you can't open the throttle all the way. I've seen people take the throttle bodies out of this bike, and like with the throttle pulled all the way, the throttle body's only open about 3/4 of the way. So it's like you could get more out of this bike with just simple modification. Again, it probably makes the bike not last as long. So it's like, will I change how much throttle you can get out of it? Maybe not, you know, who knows. That's a question for a different day, I guess. There's definitely some things, mostly aesthetic, that I want to do with this bike. Like, these mirrors have got to go. I need some bar end mirrors on this thing. They're kind of like, I feel like they're almost kind of in the way. They're good, like they have really good visibility, kind of in the way of the whole picture. I'd rather be open. Good set of bar ends would probably help the front end look of this bike quite a bit. And I'm gonna have so much fun editing these freaking videos from today. I'm gonna end up with this vlog, which is like the vlogception vlog, and then I'm gonna end up with the first ride vlog, completing the first ride, which is probably only gonna be like 10 minutes or so. Like, it's not gonna be crazy. Then there's gonna be the actual like tech kind of overview vlog. So it's just like, it's gonna be like 3 vlogs I'm gonna have to sort through when I import all this. I kind of feel like people shouldn't be allowed to buy old police cars, you know? Like, it just doesn't strike me as something that you should be allowed to do. Joke's on a lot of those guys, though, because a lot of those cars are ragged out, man. Talk about, like, I want a clapped out R6. Those are clapped out Ford fucking whatever the hell they are. Man, this is how you know you're in the sticks, dudes. Like, it takes 20 minutes just to get to civilization. No, I tell you guys what, I posted that I'm back video probably by the time you guys see this, probably a few weeks ago. And dudes, seeing you guys' comments again and like interacting with you guys again was so refreshing. I thought I was gonna like post that video and then there was gonna be a mass exodus of subscribers, just like no Panigale, no subscribers, you know? But it didn't happen. You guys seem to be okay with everything, and I'm beyond grateful of everything, man. I'm just so happy to be making videos and be back on a motorcycle again, be a motor vlogger again. It's so fun to be a motor vlogger again. And my knees stopped hurting, so damn, up and up. No slipper clutch, so no downshifts turning at all. Don't do that. It's been so long since I've had a bike without a slipper clutch. It's definitely different. Oh man, you guys hear all those pops? I swear, I don't think not tuning a bike is right. This is not how you turn. You don't turn in neutral. That's stupid. You know, every YouTuber usually does like a how to ride series. How not to ride with Paramoto. How to establish and maintain bad riding habits with Paramoto. You know what? I just realized I forgot to bring a pistol with me. That is the second time I've done that recently where I've forgotten to bring a gun with me, and that's just not good. One of these days I'm gonna need it. I'm not gonna have it. I'm gonna be like, serves you right, Paramoto. My problem is that I got really bad ADD. You know, I'm getting out of the house, I'm like troubleshooting some GoPro stuff, and like really, I can only do like 1 or 2 things without forgetting everything else that I need to do. So speaking of ADD stories, man, so I gotta tell you guys this story, this crazy Adderall story for this person that's in my life, and I don't want to tell you guys who it is because I don't want to like end up like, you know, outing this person on like a freaking platform such as YouTube. So we're gonna leave all names out of it. This guy started taking Adderall as like a 30-something-year-old man. You know, perfectly prescribed, everything's 100% legal. Adderall, if you don't have ADD, is probably not the best thing to take. I don't know what Adderall actually is, but it almost seems like you're microdosing methamphetamine, because this guy's got something going on, like a skin condition, and he's picking at himself, and he's saying there's bugs in his skin, which there's no bugs in his skin. There's no parasites, and he's just picking at himself, and it's like really disturbing and distressing for everybody, and everybody's like really concerned about him, and like we're really trying to be there for this guy and everything, but it's really hard when somebody's like just doing some crazy shit, and it's like, you know, he's not going to work, he's picking at himself, he needs some freaking help. And I keep on telling this person that he's close with, like, you need to call his wife and tell him, like, trick him into like giving her his Adderall and just flush all that crap, like flush it all down the toilet. It's not like some heart medication that he needs or he'll die. There's a Bigfoot. That's a Bigfoot. Oh, I love people with good senses of humor. Well, it's not going to kill him to not have his Adderall, because he's picking at himself, he's harming himself, and he's not going to work, which is also harming himself, and he's like, you know, becoming like disillusioned with all the people in his family because of it. And you need to take that Adderall away from him, because he doesn't really need it. So like, if he doesn't really need it, then he can live without it, you know. And just to see how it ends up being, like, I was at work one day, and this person is a completely different scenario, but this person took ecstasy for the first time in their like 60s, and what it ended up doing is it ended up awakening some sort of dormant schizophrenia that they had. And it was like, dude, like, your brain is established, don't take medications, or in her case, drugs, if you don't have to, you know, because there's no telling what it's going to do to you. I don't know, I'm just happy right now in my life, I don't need to be on anything. I'm like 35 years old, going on 36. I'm gonna end up on like some blood pressure medication soon, or some freaking like cholesterol medication. Although this year I think I've been pretty healthy, so if I end up having to be on it, whatever, so be it. But I'm gonna try not to be. But I'm just happy that I don't have to be on anything right now. Those left turners, man, those left turners still get me. I still got PTSD. So what I'm doing is I'm going back to the exact spot where I left off on that first ride, and we're gonna start the 1.5 first ride. It's not as gloomy as it was that day, so it's gonna be a little bit different looking, but I'm gonna try to even park in the same parking spot I did. No shame in my game. If I would turn like that with the Harley Davidson, I would have just scraped. I don't know what the hell you're doing. I have no trust. I have no trust in humanity anymore. Like, these people that like just do stupid things on the road, I just don't trust them. I'll red bomb the crap out of them if I have to. I got my brights on right now. I want to put more lights on this bike. You know, when I had the last bike, I was almost getting hit almost every single ride, and that was one of the deciding factors of why I ended up selling it, because I got so sick of having close calls. It was like every single time I went and rode, I had a close call. It was almost without fail. We're gonna drive by the fire station on a loud bike. We're gonna wake the firefighters up from their nappy naps. No hate if you're a firefighter, just good-natured ribbing is all. If you're a firefighter, I know, and you know that you take naps at work, and you play Xbox, and you cuddle up with your blankies. It's all good. It's all good. It's okay to be comfortable. It's like firefighters get woken up for like an EMS call at night, and it's almost like the Nanolin memes that have been going on. Did you get woken up for a call? Yeah! Did it make you kind of mad? Yeah! Alright, I'm gonna hop off this bike. I think we're almost in the same parking spot that we were. I'm gonna hop off this bike and do this 1.5 ride. Look at those chicken strips, dude! I'm just joking. So guys, this is kind of what I'm talking about. The back end kind of looks like a scooter. Like, if you just kind of like deleted everything else off the front and just like looked at the back end, you'd be like, oh, that's like it's like some sort of Scooty Puff Jr. I don't know. But then the side view looks fucking amazing. I don't think there's any bike that looks good. Ah, man, I was about to say I don't think there's any bike that looks good from every angle, but you know, the R6 was a thing, you know, and still is a thing. You can still find them. That bike did look good from every single angle. All right, so I just shot the rest of the first ride. Went well. Not trying to make that video like 30 minutes long or anything like that, but I was trying to add some length to it, because I think the video right now is only like 10-13 minutes long. So I think I just shot about 15 minutes worth of video. Once I edit it down, probably about 8 minutes. It'll be roughly a 20-minute video probably at the end of the day. Anything over 10 is okay. as far as I'm concerned. I feel like 10 is almost too short. So what are we doing now? So stop creeping, you fucking asshole. Jesus. So what we're doing now is I just picked up some sushi and I'm going to try to get it over to my fiance's work without it smashing up too bad. I'm trying to do something nice for her. We had one of those relationship talks last night, and you know, like, things aren't rocky or anything like that, but you know, we're on good terms and everything. Nobody's mad at each other or anything right now, but I'm just trying to do something nice for her. I hope it doesn't get too smashed up. It's fried sushi, so I'm hoping the friedness will help it stay together a little bit. I don't know. I'm hoping. Go. Get off your phone. People just do not pay attention whatsoever. I was watching a Jake the Garden Snake video, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, and one of the things that he did with his MT is he put steel braided brake lines on it, and I never really thought about it. I've never really had a bike that had very spongy brakes. This one's pretty spongy. They work fine. I mean, I don't think I'd have an issue with them, but they are a little bit spongy. And one of the things he pointed out is that when you have rubber brake lines, when you press them, the brake lines expand. So that's why they feel spongy, like you can hit the end of them and then keep on pushing them down because you're expanding the brake line instead of squeezing the brakes together. So that might be a mod on the list. The front brake feels fine. The rear brakes feel very spongy. Man, I was looking forward to today so bad. It's 67 degrees right now at 12 o'clock in January. I'm gonna put like 300 miles of the braking miles on today. I don't know. What's your guys' braking thoughts? Tell me in the comments down below. What's your thoughts on the braking of a motorcycle? Do you like to do a hard braking? Do you like to do a soft braking? I'm kind of of the mind of just like ride the motorcycle like you're normally gonna ride it. You know, it's hard to be like, oh, I'm gonna keep it underneath this certain RPM and then like switch to the gears for 600 miles. Like, dude, it's just so much. And I've heard that there's actually research that a hard braking is better than a soft braking. I tell you what, when I had the Ducati, I followed that manufacturer recommendation. I was not about to trash a $16,000 superbike. This one, I think I'm just gonna take it easy and just ride like a normal human, not try to be too much of a hooligan for the first 600 or so miles. Passing that guy, I definitely got it up to like 7,000 RPMs though, which is probably not something that I should do. It's a Yamaha engine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be just fine. I've heard that like one of the first things that they do with these engines is put them on like a freaking dyno and like crank the piss out of them. So it's like, you know, one of the very first things you do with the motor is like literally go full throttle with it. It's like, it's hard to be like, oh yeah, you guys need to take it easy for 600 miles when like the manufacturer's first thing that they do is like crack the throttle wide the freak open. If one person says do a really soft braking and the other person says do a really hard braking, and then like neither one of them are 100% true, then it's just all bullshit. Like that's kind of my thoughts. I just don't believe anybody. Idiot. This is like gonna stop in the middle of the road. Just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop right in the middle of the freaking road. Alright, I'm gonna run in and give my girlfriend this this food. This fiance, actually. What's up, guys? The Ride Around Everywhere vlog continues. I'm over here at the bike reveal spot. I did that little motorcycle intro that I like to do here. I'm over here with the MT, of course, the one and only. I don't know why I always do that here, but it's kind of become a channel like tradition. Every new motorcycle kind of gets revealed here most of the time. I think I did the WR, I went to a trail and I revealed it there, but I think everything else I've revealed here. Harley,
Panigale did a bunch of videos here, right over there. Right over there, I did a bunch of videos. I did that one where I edited where I was in the sky and then came down. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it might have been a little bit lame for you guys, but I thought it was cool. I noticed something kind of weird here. So this swing arm is steel, and there's some scratches right here. And what I bet happened is when they installed this at the dealer, I bet you they scratched the swing arm. So I'm gonna have to do something to patch that up. I bet you they did something like this fell down or something like that and scratched the swing arm. I'm gonna have to do something to make sure that don't rust. I can probably just like tape on either side and then find a good like rattle can color and just be like, shh, ain't nothing big. I just don't want it to start rusting, you know. I've been like everywhere today. Like I went through a whole bunch of like old roads that I used to ride. I've had like, this is my 4th GoPro battery for today, and my last 2 batteries were at 30%, and like one of them recorded for like 5 minutes and the other one recorded for like 5 seconds. So like it was just kind of like, oh man, that kind of sucks. That was at Ebenezer Church Road, which is like one of the windier roads in this area, and it didn't work. I'm like, damn it, that would have been a good little video. I would have got on the bike a little bit for you guys if it would have been recording, and instead I guess I just chilled. Man, I was taking this, I'm gonna show you guys this, man. Like I'm taking this bike up and down this like parking deck, and I swear this thing is louder than the Panigale was. Like this bike just being in here, like listen to this thing. Well, you guys probably can't even hear me right now. It's so cold in here. It's been super cold lately, and I bet you anything, all this concrete has like absorbed all the cold. It's like the opposite of a heat stone. It's like a cold stone. I need to work on my fundamentals. I'm taking some wide turns. Slow, I'm taking such wide turns. Like look at this. Look at this lack of skill. That's a little bit better. It's wet, it's cold, and these lines are really slick, and those are the excuses I'm sticking with. Like when I was growing up, I used to be a mall rat. I used to spend all of my time at malls. So like I still love coming to malls. Like it's still one of my favorite things. So I just like walked around, I got a coffee, I walked around like a hipster. Walked around like a hipster. I grabbed my fiance a candle. Like one of her favorite Yankee candles is actually starting to like burn down and almost be finished. So I picked her up one of those again. I'm just trying to do something nice for her, you know. I mentioned that we were kind of like, we've pretty much been roommates for the last year or so. And like, you know what? You're not wrong. You're kind of not wrong. We haven't really been doing much as far as like actually normal couples things. Because we bought a house and we're planning all this shit and we're just always have something to do. So I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to, you know, put the magic back in things, I guess. I haven't been over in this area in so long. I used to take a right on this road and go straight downtown Raleigh, and from there I'd go to Gracie Raleigh Jiu-Jitsu, and I was there, like almost every video was me going to Gracie Raleigh. Every single day I miss Gracie Raleigh. I got a good jiu-jitsu gym now. It's almost like, you know, mom's cooking. Nothing's ever as good as mom's cooking, you know? And like I don't think anything will ever beat my first jiu-jitsu gym. I have so much stuff to edit. Oh man, I've almost completely filled this SD card just today. Like I cleared it out today and then I filled it all up today. It's gonna be a wild editing session. I'm gonna have editing for days. It's all good though. It's all good because, you know, honestly, you can never really have too much content. Never have too much content, you know, and I'm not looking to fall behind in videos again. You know, because like once you fall behind in your schedules, it's so easy to just stay behind and just be like, you know, they don't need a video this week. You know, they're good, and then all of a sudden you're not doing videos anymore. That's kind of what happened when I stopped YouTubing there for the last year or so. It's like, oh, I missed a week, so I guess they can miss another week, and then it was like, I guess they can miss a month now, and it was just like, well, I've already been gone for a month, I might as well miss another month, you know. And it's just like, before you know it, I haven't been making YouTube for like a year. Literally, like, I made a video in November that didn't get posted until June, and that was the only video all year. So it's just so easy to just be like, well, I guess I'm not doing this anymore. You know, it's almost like freaking people with like the gym. You know, they're like, ah, well, you know, I missed today, I can miss tomorrow, I can miss this week. And all of a sudden they're a fat mess. That's where this channel is right now. This channel is a fat mess. This channel is a missed New Year's resolution fat mess. Just let everybody know that you're around. Just want to let everybody know that I'm here. I'm here, don't kill me. Alright, well, I'm going to go around you guys. We're just doing a little bit of Canadian lane splitting right now. I got to figure out who's going to actually give me a deal on the first service. The dealership said the first service was like 500 bucks. And like, I'm not going to give somebody $500 for the first service. That's insane. For essentially an oil change and then like just going around making sure everything is tight. Like, no, I'm not giving you $500. Not gonna happen. I'm gonna be calling around looking for that deal. I would almost do the first service myself. But the first service is so important that you want to have that record. You want to have that shit on paper. I kind of feel like my gear needs to be upgraded. Like, everything's kind of like, I mean, my gloves and my helmet definitely need to be upgraded. Like, these gloves, like, they're kind of falling apart. This helmet needs to be replaced, but this jacket just plain old don't match anymore. Just don't match anymore. Blue and red, just, it looks weird. I don't really want to sound racist, but I'm going to kind of sound racist here for a second. Every time I'm out, it's typically black people that like to boycott. Is that racist? It seems like black people like motorcycles the most. I'm like sitting there like blipping the throttle, just go brr, brr, just doing my best Harley guy impression, and every single time the guy looks back and smiles. Like, black dudes just like bikes. They just like bikes. I mean, I can't explain it. No hate whatsoever, man. No hate. It's just an observation. You hear all those fucking pops? There's no way it's okay to not have this thing tuned. There's no way. There's no freaking way, man. Kind of want to take this bike down some twisty roads. It's 2:30. I got plenty of time. I'm gonna go straight up this road for a while, and I'm gonna go take this bike to some twisty roads. I hope this battery lasts, but I'm gonna cut it off right here and hopefully chime back in with some twisty roads. Alright guys, so I've been trying to complete this vlog now. This is my third attempt. These GoPro batteries are just lackluster as all get out right now. I tried to first record twisty roads outside of Ebenezer Church Road before I got to the first ride of the bike reveal video, and then I tried to do it again and they died again. So this is my third time, so I'm completing this vlog right now. I'm sorry if it dies, but this is going to be the end of this vlog. This has been a fun day. I almost filled an SD card already today. I have probably 3 videos. And you know what also is going to happen today? We're going to do our first ride on the freeway. So let's get it. Let's see how these freaking, let's see how these lights are. That's kind of a big thing for me with how unique they are. I kind of want to know how effective they are. So I was kind of initially not very impressed with the gas mileage on this bike, but then I kind of realized that they most likely didn't fill this bike all the way at the dealership. It said that it was almost full, but it ended up going down to a quarter of a tank at like 80 miles. So I'm like, nah, that probably isn't right. We'll see. I filled the bike up again, and I think we're at like 60 or so. Yeah, trip 2. No, I need trip 1. Trip 1, we're at 56 miles, and we're a little bit above a quarter of a tank. 3/4 of a tank, I'm sorry. I don't think that was really right. Well, this is a low beam in a neighborhood that's real hilly. Not bad. Not the greatest, but not bad. Here's the high beam. I don't know. It's just like, it's literally like, it's not really any brighter, it's just higher. Most high beams are also brighter. I'm kind of excited just to ride again. After today and tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to ride like all weekend, and I'm not happy about it. Freaking work, man. I wish I could just be independently wealthy and just ride all day long and just enjoy motorcycles and do cool things with you guys, but unfortunately I gotta go make money because, you know, nobody on OnlyFans wants to see a almost middle-aged man's bunghole. You know what? I bet you there are some people on OnlyFans that want to see a middle-aged man's bunghole. I don't know how people do that. Like, well, like, I know how people do that. I know how people do OnlyFans. I get it, you know, but people in relationships and stuff, I don't understand how people do that. Like, I'm not okay with that. Like, I'm not okay with, like, my fiance or whoever I'm seeing, which has been my fiance for 9 years.
I would not be okay with them being an internet prostitute, because that's exactly what they are. They're internet prostitutes. There is no difference. They're doing something sexual for money. But for some reason, putting a camera on it makes it like not a crime. I don't really get it. If the camera is not there and somebody's paying for sexual favors, it's a crime. But if the camera's there, it's not a crime. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It's a good point. Like, I have a tinted visor, and I have a tinted visor at night, and this is not ideal. I should probably change that because I'm dumb. Hi, my name is Paramoto, and I have the dumbness. Alright, about to jump on the freeway for the first time. I was about to do it earlier, but I was like, you know what? I'll just drive 30 miles out of my way to go ride some twisty roads. That sounds fun. Let's do that. So this is the first time I've been on the freeway on this bike. We'll see how it goes. I tell you what, if there was a road hazard in front of me, I wouldn't be able to see it. Yeah, this visor situation is stupid, guys. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. This is dumb. 75, hold strong, no problem. It's not bad on the freeway. The wind isn't terrible. Besides with the wind coming in my visor, that's not great. Going about 5 grand at 75 on the highway. I bet you she would do every bit of 120. I don't think I would really trust this suspension though. This suspension would probably feel like shit at 120. I'm riding into a bit of a headwind, and I know this bike is really light, but she does not feel very planted on the highway. A lot of these observations and stuff could literally be me just needing to, you know, get my seat legs back on with the motorcycles, you know? Like, you don't just stop doing something for 7 or so months and then just like jump back into it feeling fine, you know?